Hey guys, this is Poet Spice, Biblioscribe, and I'm here to do just a short video on the end of January and February's to be read. And a finishing. I thought about calling February finishings, but I'm not sure I'm feeling like finishing the books I started previously in February. So here we go. Anyway, I did want to just come in and do a quick video because one of my goals this year is to have regular content on my writing channel. So it's going to be, writing, journaling, and reading on here. So thanks for stopping by. And I'm just going to start with some stuff. Well, what I finished finally. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. And it's not because there's anything wrong with the book. It just took me forever to read it. So I finally finished Necroscope 2 by Brian Lumley. I was so excited, like, yes, I finished it. Now, here are my thoughts. First of all, I am not really a series person. After about 3, I'm like, okay, can we move on now? And I also don't typically remember authors' names because I am so bad with names. However, I read most of this series like years ago. And then I also remembered the author's name. So that tells you how much I liked it. And what I like about it is the fact that this is your old school, creepy, scary, horrible, evil vampire instead of like, I'm shiny and new and I'm brooding because I am a vampire, but I still have a soul and blah, blah. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I loved Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then even the series Angel when it came out. And even though I read the Twilight books, for what they were okay. The movie sucked, but whatever. But there's nothing like your good old creepy, evil, take over the world, suck everybody dry vampire. So I loved this. Yes. And it made me feel like somebody who was actually intelligent enough to read something, It's like, oh my gosh. All right. I mean, I'm extremely smart, not to toot my own horn, but when you have to spend your life reading things that are not, college and adult level, sometimes you feel stupid when you go to try to read something that is. All right, so then let's get on to what I may be reading. I told you that this was my all-time favorite romance book from back in the day. And I haven't read a romance novel in like years. When I say years, I mean years. And I used to read them like it was drinking water. So I believe I'm going to start this one again and try to read it and still see if I like historical romances. And then if you have any comments or suggestions below, you can leave them of like historical romance writers from now or even titles. Okay. Then I have been plagued by this book, The Night Circus. I can't remember. I saw it on some YouTuber's channel and they were talking about it, and then somebody else was talking about it and talking about it. So I bought it last year sometime, but as you can see, I have not even cracked this book open. So this is a maybe for the end of January and February. Now, like I said before, I read slowly, plus I teach English, so I don't have oodles and oodles of brain power and time left to read because it like really, yeah. But we shall see what we shall see. Now, I said I wasn't a big person into series, but when Game of Thrones was in like its 2nd season or something, a couple of my kids in my class were like, oh my gosh, you like this? Have you seen this? I'm like, no. Blah, blah, blah. Have you? Okay. So when I finally watched it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. So when I found out it was books, I was like, sweet. Well, I looked it up on Amazon, and they kept wanting like $50, $60, $50, $48. And just like food, I don't like to spend money on something that I'm not sure I'm going to like. And even though I loved the TV show, you never know if you're going to like the book and vice versa. So this breaks several rules that I typically have. 1, if I watch a TV show or movie about it, I typically don't read the book because it kind of ruins it. Now, 2, I'm not really a serious person, and he has 5 books out, plus the last 2 he's supposed to write. So there goes the series thing. The other thing about series is I pretty much don't like to start them until the whole thing is finished. And he hasn't finished the last two. So I'm like, So this George R. Martin thing kills and kicks a lot of those things I don't typically do. But what made me go ahead and get it was that this whole set was on sale on Amazon for $18. And I'm like, okay, I'll pay $4 for a book. Even if I don't necessarily like it, I'll pay $4. So it's roughly it's a little less than $4 per book. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So I might start this. As you can't see, it's not even out of the package. I love packaging when it's like brand new and stuff. Then my nonfiction choice is probably going to be this Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results, Atomic Habits. I figured it is the beginning of the year, so we might as well try to see what it's about. Like, I've seen some of the videos he's done and other people have done on it, so it doesn't seem like it's anything earth-shatteringly new. But then again, to be honest, if you're any type of intelligent person, most of the stuff that we need to know to fix our lives, we actually already know. We just aren't putting it into practice, or we forgot about it, or we've heard about it and it just didn't ring right with us. So it's like, oh, you can do this thing. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't understand how that works. So I've heard that this isn't anything overly earth-shattering new, which like pretty much nothing under the sun is. But if it's one of those books that it reiterates stuff and puts it in a way that you're like, oh, I see, I can get that. That makes more sense this way. Then hopefully I'll be good. So there are the one book I finished and my possible choices for January and February, into February. So I thank you for watching, and definitely leave any reading suggestions that you have below. I like Gothic, and like, I'm not a Stephen King fan. The movies I could watch, the book, I started reading one or two of his books and I was like, yeah, no. Yeah, so if you have some suggestions for like historical romances or some interesting kind of like horror mysteries. Also, I'm thinking about writing just like a high school murder thriller kind of series, whether it's short stories or not. And then also I was thinking about writing a cheesy romance again, like I started before. Just, have fun with some writing instead of trying to be all serious all the time. So if you have any video links or books, preferably video links, even websites, that talk about like the beats for romance novels, and or like, that spooky kind of murder thriller YA kind of thing. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Be safe.